right. I think we are live. I think we're live. Welcome, Raider Nation, to another Undead Raider podcast. I'm the Undead Raider, ready to talk some Raiders football, talk about what just happened with the Chargers game, as you already probably know, as you probably already seen, and also talk about the upcoming playoff game versus the stupid-ass Bengals. So, here we go. How about that Chargers game? That Chargers game. This entire season has been just my heart just up in my throat. You know what I'm saying? This entire season, I've been watching the Raiders with just, anxiety. Every game I have anxiety. The day before and everything, anxiety. And this Chargers game, very I was watching the games early in the Sunday too. I was doing other stuff, but I was also keeping an eye on, the Steelers game and the what was the other one that happened? The Colts game. So the Colts game pretty much ended the way we wanted it to end, with the Jaguars actually beating them, going against all the odds. Everyone thought the Colts were just going to just demolish us. Or demolish the everyone thought the Colts were going to demolish us, and they thought that they were going to go and kill the Jaguars too. Jaguars said, nah, which is crazy enough. That whole story is just funny enough for the Colts. But anyways, yeah, I won't go too deep into them. Already went over, talked all that. But now we got talk a little bit about the Chargers. Not going to go too deep into it. Talk a little bit. But I do definitely want to talk about this Bengals game coming up. The Bengals game, I think, the playoff game, man, there's so much on the table with that one. But with the Chargers game, it was funny because they beat us the first time, right? And then everyone's all talking just how big and great, Justin Herbert is. Good guy. Yeah, great. Yeah, great player and everything like that. Sorry, I'm just looking back at my video here. So I thought I put that backwards. Never mind. What was I just saying? Justin Herbert, yeah, good quarterback, came back in the end. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe that I don't know if it was so much the Raiders defense, giving it up. Like if they just took their, foot off the throat, foot off the gas. I know they were going ham the entire game, really, but out of nowhere, the Chargers, I don't know if they just stepped it up. Like, this is now, we have to come back and win, because that was definitely what happened. They came all the way back to tie and then go into overtime, had a couple of chances to win the game. And, the rest is history. Raiders went and got the ball, kicked the game-winning field goal, and here we go. Playoff game. I mean, what's more to say about the big Chargers game? It will definitely live down in Raiders history for sure. I'll be watching it for, years to come. Years to come. Ever so often, I'll probably be doing dishes or doing something or just bored one day. I'll put that game on just so I can watch, especially the highlights and just, how everyone was feeling. Because I know if you're a Raider fan, everyone was partying. And, I'm out here in California. I'm only a few hours away from Vegas and everything. I wanted to go, but I just stayed my happy ass home and just watched it. Actually, I was doing stuff that day anyway. So, but yeah, I came home and I finally watched it. Finally having some beers and shots, and I was partying and talking to, calling my dad, talking to him, and he was partying. Everyone's having a great time. And yeah, it was definitely a great feeling game. I couldn't believe it. Raiders, they always give you a great game, nail biters. Raiders are just, we have so many games that are nail biters, which is funny enough that the NFL on Instagram I saw earlier today that they put it was either today or yesterday that they had a bunch of the greatest games of the season or something like that. I think there was like 5 or 10 of them or something like that. But the first one was the Raiders game that we just had versus the Chargers. And you scroll all the way through, and the very last one was the Raiders game versus the Ravens, all in Allegiant Stadium too. So, awesome. Definitely the Raiders. Like I'm pretty sure every win for the Raiders this season has been just complete nail biters. And I'm telling you, this has to be a 30 for 30, or even I want to go too far to say make a movie, but a movie would be cool because you could definitely make one. Like I definitely for 30 for 30. I mean, these guys fought every single game, and especially after everything. And man, this team, let's say Ruggs was still with us. Arnett got his act together. Gruden never got fired. I don't know. Like I said in the last video too, like who knows if Gruden was a part of the failing for this team too. We won 3 straight and then lost 2 straight after that with Gruden this season. So that was the first 5 games, and it was already kind of looking ugly too. So there's so much debate because this team is pretty much a Gruden team. Staff is a Gruden team. The team is the Gruden team, minus the Deshaun Jackson and a couple of late pickups after Gruden. That now these guys are part of the team and stuff like that. Doesn't matter. It's pretty much the building blocks that are there that are the staff for sure. Definitely all Gruden. So I think Gruden was great for this organization, especially just in the point that getting this team together, which was you could see it. You could see like this team looks organized finally. They are still a bunch of misfits, especially at this point too, because after Gruden was gone, I mean that's all we had. I mean that's all we could grasp onto. It's just we kept it was thank God it was only after 5 games, right? And then Bisaccia came up and becoming the new interim head coach, and laid down the groundwork for the rest of this season, and he's kept this team together. I mean, and say what you want to say about those big losses that we had. I mean, so much has happened. So much happened. I don't know if it's just would we still have lost those games if we still had Ruggs and everyone else and Gruden, so on and so forth? Would we still have won all these games if we still had Gruden, so on and so forth? I don't know. But I'll tell you right now, this team pulled together. And I don't know if that's exactly what this team needed, but it definitely has. This team has definitely pulled together, and they have defied all the odds. All the odds. And that's what makes a Hollywood movie, the underdogs, especially the underdogs. Coming into the season, people were thinking, this Raiders team wasn't even going to do all that good anyways. We had a bad off season, but as if you're a Raider fan, you were keeping up too, I'm sure. The pieces that we're picking up in the off season, and we were like, dang, this team's looking good, but also we were losing pieces too. So it was also like, we're getting good, but then, we're also losing guys too. So it was kind of evening out, and to the point where like, what, losing the guys, I think we're just slightly ahead in key areas, but definitely the beginning of the season, I think our offensive line was probably our weakest link, but they still found a way to come out 3-0 and then 3-2. And then with Bisaccia becoming a head coach, I think he won his first 2 games as a interim head coach. So at that point, I think we were 5-2, I believe, and we were looking pretty decent. And then we lost a bunch of games, won a game, lost a couple of more games, and then here we are. We're pretty much at the finish line where they won 4 straight coming into the playoffs. One of those big losses too was to the Bengals. So doing this whole roundabout thing and catching ourselves in the tail. Let's go into the Bengals game. Take a little sippity sip. The Raiders and Bengals Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're on the West Coast, 1:30. I don't know if there's any other games going on Saturday, but I think it should be probably the first game, if anything. Doesn't matter. Bengals coming in also at the same record of the Raiders at 10-7. I did also list down the losses that they, those 7 losses. I'm not going to talk about every game that they played and everything like that. I'm just going to talk about, let's look at who they did lose to, right? And then just kind of somewhat compare. From what I did see, most of these losses, I believe, they were like back to back. And then let's just take a quick look. So yeah, they lost their last game in Week 18 versus the Browns, and they lost that game. I believe I wrote that down. Doesn't matter, I guess. You can look it up yourself. Doesn't matter. So what happened was that in the last game they lost to the Browns pretty badly. But then again, I think they already knew that they were going to the playoffs. So why spend the resources and manpower to go into the playoffs and lose the first game because you wanted to show the Browns, we're going to beat you. But I don't think they really needed this win at all because the Browns were they finished. Well, they're not even in the playoffs. But it was funny enough that they did play the Browns twice this season, of course, because of the same division. But they played them twice, and the Browns swept them this season too. And the Browns were, I think, a game or 2 behind or something like that to miss the playoffs. And then the Bengals came in, which is funny too, in a sense that, are the Bengals that great of a team? I was listening to a bunch of NFL commentators earlier about, this Raiders and Bengals game coming up. And they were all talking about, I see the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. The weapons the Bengals have, and the Bengals. And then they're like, but the Raiders, they squeak through the playoffs. They'll be out of here. And then the Bengals will be playing the Tennessee Titans next week. And they're already talking this and that, all this smack. It's disgusting. But what I'm trying to go with all this is that I don't know if the Bengals are all that, in a bag of chips because the Browns were right behind them too. And we play the Browns. You can put an asterisk on that because the Browns were missing a few pieces with, I think, COVID and injury. But, that's why you build your team. You have a team to build depth with, right? So it's your fault for not having a good depth. I don't want to hear, if our quarterback was in the game, no. You came in with your guys and we came in with our guys because we're missing guys too. Okay. If we had our guys are all hurt and sick and, I think Will Compton's mom, I don't know if it was that game or in the next game, but, I know people were missing. Right. And I don't want to hear we were missing the one special piece that would have saved the game, that would have won us the game and beat you guys. No. We played the Browns also last year too, and we still beat them in their own house under bad weather. And let me talk about that real quick. Last year when we played the Browns, everyone said we were going to lose, especially with they were talking about the look at the forecast. It was going to be snow and gravel and some other. By the time the game was actually happening, they had this new weather. I don't know if it's new, but it's the first time I've ever heard it. I can't even pronounce it anymore. Grovel or I don't know. It sounded made up, but I'm sure it's very professional. But the Raiders went in there and they still beat the Browns in their own home. Now, this is the Vegas Raiders last year, right? And they're all talking about, oh, well, if they're, a indoor team, most indoor teams just don't do good outdoors. Stop. Okay, the Raiders have been an indoor team for the last what? I think this last 2 seasons. Raiders have been the Raiders have been an outdoor team pretty much its entire history. Which it was weird when they said that we were going to go to Vegas and then build this gigantic dome. And I was like, oh, here we go. And then they're like, well, we're going to put in natural grass too. I was like, how's that going to work in Vegas? And wowee, did they figure that out? So, good on them for all that. And, to be honest, like I've been there. I haven't been to a game, but I've been there inside and took a piss inside. And it's beautiful. Yeah, it's the Death Star, it's state of the art, fully operational, ready to take on anything. But, it's weird enough because a lot of the games that we did play last year and I think this year have not, has not worked out well for us. But I digress. We're going into Cincinnati, bad weather. I think the Raiders are still going to go in there, chip on shoulder, revenge game, Raiders playoff hopes. This is everything that the stars have aligned. Pieces are falling into place. Madden's got his hand on Derek Carr's shoulder, as does Al Davis and the rest of Raider greats in the past. They're, blowing the wind in our sails and pushing us forward. This is the story we all want, right? Hopefully, we go in, guns blazing, just decimating, playoff mode, right? And we go in and defy all the odds as we have been doing all season. I'm so proud of this team. I'm so proud of these guys. They have defied all the odds, like I've been saying. This is I definitely want to put up a 2021 Las Vegas Raiders poster of some sort, because I'll be remembering these guys for a while. Even if we fail, we lose in Cincinnati, I'm still going to remember this team for just what has happened this season and how well this team has come together. And just, no one understands us. Only we understand each other. And I think that's what makes us kind of the family element, because everybody's been counting us out pretty much every game. And we come in, walking the walk. So here we are, 10-7, 10-7, 4 games straight in the playoffs, hot. We're red hot. And you could see it with these guys too. And you could see just like these wins finally building up, the confidence building. And now I don't want the confidence to go to the head, but you can definitely see it. You can definitely see, the special twinkle, that little extra grin that they got going on. And, they got that little bit of that Raider swag on them. They're digging this. They're playoff ready. This is what they've been wanting, since coming here, especially with Gruden. And I loved Gruden's old mindset too. We're not trying to go, to just win the division. We're not just trying to win the wild card game or the division game or the AFC championship game. We're going to one place, and that's the glory land of the Super Bowl. We want to go and win it. That's the only goal. I know every team has pretty much that poster on their wall too, Super Bowl or bust, but it's like, this is finally a weird expectation that we haven't had in a long time. And it's weird because, since 2016, I remember when 2016 happened and we clinched the playoffs. I think it was against the Chargers too. And we beat them and clinched the playoffs. We were all sorts of excited. And, we did something damn foolish. I mean, we're clinched. We're already in, but we did something damn foolish. We continued to let Carr play. Carr broke. The car broke. And we got sidelined in, week one, or no, the first round of the playoffs against the Texans. So you know how that worked out. So now Carr's coming in, and this is his goal, and he's been talking about it. He's been saying, this is what he's been wanting since he was a kid, since he knew of the wording of the playoffs. He's wanted to go. So here he is. This is his chance. This is his. We've been saying it time and time again. This is Carr's chance to really show the world, how good he is, and he keeps showing up. Man, the funny thing is that the only thing that matters are wins, and right now Carr is winning. He is a winning quarterback, especially for this season under this coach. Right now, he's a winning quarterback. So, where am I going with all this? Carr is, I think he's ready. I think he's going to be in that mindset. And I hope everyone's in that mindset, extra sharp, not fouling about, hopefully, steering clear of the crowd, steering clear of COVID, don't be building a door and hitting your thumb, breaking it, and you can't make it to the game now, or, something crazy, where we need every hand on deck. We need everyone, especially in this game. And it's weird enough that, I think I saw Richie Incognito in the last game when they won the game or something like that. I would have sworn I saw him like in a sweater, and he was there. I was like, oh, there he is. I forgot he was even on the team. And I'm like, is he ever coming back? What happened to this calf of his? Is the calf just permanently injured? What's happening? Is he just done playing? Is he going to participate in this game? That'd be crazy. Like, if we saw tomorrow, like the Raiders remove Richie Incognito off the IR to come play this game versus the Bengals. I don't even know if that's even a chance. Like if that's even possible. But I think if that were the case, that'd be wonderful. I'll be like, oh, like I think our offense actually just got a little stronger, which would be amazing, especially for our running game. I know Incognito hasn't really been part of, he hasn't played a snap this season, but I don't even know if he would, not playing a snap would make him rusty or just not, I don't know. But it would be great to have him back, right? I mean, I thought he would be a great asset to when they said that, we cut Richie Incognito off I think it was the offseason. I was like, damn. They're like, then we're signing him back again for less money. I was like, oh, okay, cool, Incognito. You're straight up cool in my book. So, with him, without him, I think we'll do fine. Alex Leatherwood, man, he is still doing penalties. And I think I saw one or two, especially in the Chargers game. And I'm like, dude, it's not the time, especially, with the playoffs and hope. So, but to be honest, every game, like since the Browns game, since we were, I think 6-7, just winning throughout was the goal. And how possible is that? We won 4 straight. You defied the odds. It was funny enough, even when we played the Browns and they were missing people or whatever, people were like, I think Browns are still going to win. I think it was because we just lost to KC big, and everyone's all looking at the Browns like, it doesn't matter. Browns are going in the playoffs, and because of that, they're going to beat the Raiders. No matter, it's just like, I don't know where the logic is coming in, because I couldn't come up with that. I couldn't come up with that analysis. I mean, you really have to watch the team every game, every snap, right, to really understand, everything, to really kind of get a mindset where like everything is at. And to be honest, I like where we're at, and I think this team could go all the way. I think this team could go into Cincy, bad weather and all, defy the odds, run a good game. Carr, Sharp, put Mariota in, confuse the defense. Jalen Richard, Jacobs. The combination of everyone. Waller's back. Renfro's going to be out there, dude. I mean, I think this team is going to be rocking and rolling. This team is going to be looking good. I think this is the team is finally pretty much together, and it hurts too because Darius Phylon ended up getting hurt in the game, and I would have sworn I saw him, dancing off the field, by the end of the game, but he tore part of his knee, and he had done, which was crazy. I was like, what? Great player. And I mean, this guy came out swinging this season and looking great, doing great. And yeah, tore knee. I was like, dude, not now, especially, playoff mode. Here we go. We need every hand on deck. And got a guy hurt. But, divine intervention B. We ended up picking up another guy. We signed a former Steeler and signed him to the practice squad. And then I guess we're going to see where he's at and then get him ready for this game, whether or not we're going to need him, because we have other guys coming off the IR and the COVID list. And I mean, that's even more wonderful news. It's like, good. Every hand. So I know we can't have the entire team on the field all at once, but I mean, it looks like our depth is good, and hopefully we get good practice this week. The guys are coming back. Today's Wednesday, so today was the first day of practice. I didn't even watch any of the press conference today. I should have, especially for this. I really don't know too much. I'm like, how's everyone feeling? How's everyone doing right now? I'll be watching that right after I finish this pretty much. And just so I can also just get a clear, understanding of where this team is mentally at, if they're looking good, if a toe's hurting, knees a little sore, back a little jacked up, who knows? But I mean, I like that, it looks good because, this Bengals team is going to be coming in too. That's what exactly they've been doing. I'm pretty sure that they've been putting pretty much their second string guys pretty much doing most of the snaps since they clinched the playoffs. I don't even know when they did, but I'm pretty sure since they knew, they've been just kind of easing off so they can kind of rebuild, get their A squad team all together, and then come play us, which is funny enough because the Bengals, they do look a little worried playing against the Raiders. Everyone counted the Raiders out. Bengals beat the Raiders, but you can't look at that anymore. Raiders have defied everyone. And the Raiders just beat the Chargers, the Chargers also beat the Raiders early in the season, under different circumstances and everything. And then we came back and we said, what was all that trash talking you were saying? Bosa and everyone else. We came in, we won. We came in, beat the devil out of them. We beat the charge right out of them, So so I think this is definitely going to be definitely a revenge game, but also this is more of a playoff game than just a revenge game, because Chiefs, when we played the Chiefs the second time, I thought that was going to be a revenge game for the Raiders. I thought we were going to come in pissed, and it was in Vegas, and for all these reasons, I was like, I hope the Raiders can somehow come out and beat these guys, and it just that game was horrible. That was the worst game I think of this season. I think that was the worst game this season by far. I think that that Chiefs game was probably the worst one for us. And I think that one definitely just made us look totally bad. We just they embarrassed us, and the entire NFL took notice, and they all been laughing ever since. And we've been just like, fuck that, we're coming. And so we've been, we just Browns, boom, Broncos came, boom, Colts, boom, Chargers, quadoom, and here we come. Bengals. What's gonna happen? And it's going to be a good game. I know this is going to be a good game. High scoring. I'm pretty sure that. Well, like I thought it was going to be somewhat high. It was pretty much high scoring by the end of this last game versus the Chargers. I think I said something about 30. I definitely said it was going to end by field goal. I'm pretty sure by 30-28 or something like that. But it was around that, right? It was 35-32, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be like that again, unless the Raiders are just juggernauts. But still got a Bengals team that beat the Chiefs as well, and they were both fighting for that top that top yeah that top spot in the AFC conference. So, but the Titans ended up taking that one from both of them. But I do believe it's going to be a high scoring game. Definitely a lot of touchdowns, passing touchdowns. I think Raiders are probably going to have the most rushing touchdowns. I'm not too sure on the running game for the Bengals. I don't know too much about the Bengals, but from what I remember last time, they beat the hell out of us. So we have to be prepared that these guys are dangerous, and we pretty much already went through the grinder with those guys, and we kind of know what to expect. And it wasn't too long ago, okay? And we definitely changed, and we definitely gotten our act together, and I think we finally got our feet on the ground, and we're ready to fight. And this one's going to be a brawl again, and don't be surprised if it goes into overtime. Raiders have been somehow, some way, either making it into overtime or allowing people to make it into overtime, but somehow, in some way, we are the overtime kings. And if we go into overtime, I'm pretty sure you can count the Raiders. Big W for that one. Pray for that one. But let's look at just a couple of stats here, just to see what we're looking at. The Bengals all-time wild card appearances. They have had 9 appearances and are 1-8. Have lost 7 straight in the playoffs. Wow. Their last playoff win was back in 1990 versus the Houston Oilers. Wow. The Houston Oilers. It was funny because I remember playing the old Madden games and the game day, NFL game day, and then there would be the Oilers and stuff, which I think they put the Oiler costumes in for the Tennessee Titans. I'm pretty sure they did. Classic. It's definitely a classic. But who wants to be part of a team called the Oilers? Especially now at times where eco-friendly environmentalist people, they would flip. They flip for less. So, I did write it down. So, yeah. So the last game for the Bengals was Week 18 versus the Browns. And the Browns won 21-16 in Cincinnati. But like I said before, it was pretty much. I'm sure I didn't watch. I'm sure there was a lot of B squad guys, a lot of second string guys playing a lot of that game. I'm sure they didn't go in with the intention of losing. Who does? But I'm pretty sure they didn't really give a damn either, because I'm sure they already clashed and they're like, we're not going to get any more guys hurt before we have to go into the playoffs and fight for the Super Bowl. Because how many games until then, right? You have wild card, division, champion, Super Bowl. So 4 games. That's 4 games. 4 games. And the Raiders already just went through that, right? Man, it's heavy. It's heavy stuff. But let's see. In that game, the Bengals versus the Browns, I guess for a total offense, it was 182 yards. And their quarterback was not Burrow, it was Allen. and he did pretty decent. He did 15 of 29 for 136 yards and 1 touchdown. Doesn't say anything about an interception. So yeah, there's that for that last game. So, they're coming off a loss in Cincinnati, and I'm sure they didn't give a damn either. Like I said, it's probably the least of the worries. So, let's see. Let's look at Burrow. Let's see his stats. Let's compare some stats here. So Burrow has a 70.4% completion percentage. He is 288.2 passing yards per game. And I mean, you can look up all these stats, but this is the important one. He's 34 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and he has a passer rating of 108.3. There you go. 34 touchdowns. And I think I said something pretty similar to Herbert. Herbert last week, he going into week 18 had 35 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, with a passer rating of 99.5. So Joe Burrow, coming into this playoff game, is just 1 touchdown behind, same amount of interceptions, better passer rating, a lot of better ratings than Herbert, even himself. I do believe. Doesn't matter. But all I'm saying is it looks like, we're definitely going to have our hands full with Burrow. Good quarterback. We had our hands full with him last time. He handled business, and he handled us. So, our defense, they have to know what they're going up against, especially the second time around. These guys better know what is in store. So I'm sure they know what's in store, but also at the same time, we're a different team, so we also could be looking different. Hopefully, we are completely different, not the same game. Especially where we lose big time. Carr's percentage going into this game, he has a 68.4% completion percentage, which is only just a couple of points away from Burrow. Most of his stats are just slightly less than Burrow. Carr has 23 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. He didn't throw any interceptions last week, so that number didn't change. And he is a 94. He has a 94 passer rating. Last week, he had 94.3. So I guess he went down a little. Yeah, I guess he had 2 touchdowns. So yeah, 23. And then the last little bit of stat I have here, the Bengals' best points per game. This season has been the Bengals' best points per game since their Super Bowl loss to the 49ers in 1988. So, it's been a while since the Bengals have been good. And since the 90s, really? Wow. So about 30 years. 30 years in the making. And, I think they finally pretty much got it somewhat together. They got a playoff team, and they got a shot at the Super Bowl. Everyone in the playoffs is gunning for the Super Bowl. Everyone's climbing that mountain for the big guy, big Lombardi. But yeah, so that's it for that, for pretty much all those stats, numbers, what have you. But like I said, I think this is going to be a good game. I think these guys are going to be kicking each other's ass. I hope, and I'm not a religious man, but I might be for this one. Um, um, I will definitely be screaming, rooting. I'm gonna try to find a place to go hang out and try to watch this game because this is best. This is the best when you're hanging out with people and having a good time all together. Because the last game I was pretty much all just kind of celebrating, somewhat by myself, screaming, hooting, and hollering. I'm sure that I pissed off the neighbors. But yeah, that will be it for this episode. I do believe. Let's see. Not too much else to cover. Yeah, I mean, not much else to really talk about. I mean, there's plenty to talk about, but I'm sure you already heard all the stories. I pretty much hit everything I wanted to say. We helped out the Steelers by beating the Chargers, which is, I'll talk about this little thing just super quick. Everyone thinks that the Raiders are going to try to tie, which I slightly understand or kind of get, but it's dumb. It's a dumb thought to think that the Raiders would tie this game and allow the Chargers to come into playoffs and that potentially we have to play them again. No. Chargers are a good team. I really don't want to play them again. Especially now that I think they beat us, we beat them, and now I think they got somewhat of a little bit of a chip now. It's a little bit of a tag that now they're going to want to play us next time when we play them next year. They're going to be holding that chip on their shoulder and be like, now we want to come beat you guys since last time. So, because I know tensions were high for this one, but to think that we were going to try to tie this one is ludicrous. It's just not the right way. Just not the right way to go and do something like that. But to understand why that we would is because what would happen if they would block the kick? They block the kick, get the ball with so many seconds left. Well, actually, there was only a couple of seconds left. But to get the ball, they would have to block it and pretty much get the ball and run it all the way down before anyone tackled before zero. But that would be their only hope at all. And they were like, how often does that happen? And with Rich Bisaccia as the head coach and special teams coordinator, as that coach over there, he's the guy. He's the guy for every special teams call, and we've definitely seen all that with this season alone, fake punts and stuff like that. I was pretty impressed, which is kind of cool too, because you rarely ever see stuff like that. But when you got a special teams coach out there, he wants to flex a little on his area of expertise, and so that's what he's been doing this for, especially since he's taken over. Proud of him. Had me worried a couple of times. I think we went for it on fourth down and had me shook a little. So, I like the gutsiness, and I love the gutsiness and the gutsiness of this team to go and do it and do it well, right? To actually do it. But yeah, to think that we were actually going to try to tie is ludicrous. But we allowed, I guess, because we won, Steelers end up getting in because that stupid tie. I forgot who they had it with, but they ended up getting a tie, which is their only saving grace. How a tie for them ended up getting them into the playoffs. It's insane. And then beating the Ravens, which is no easy accomplishment. So, good for the Steelers. I'm not worried about seeing the Steelers. Actually, which is funny because I was watching Wi-Fi Willie just a little earlier ago, and he made a great point. What if, we were playing the Steelers instead of the Bengals this week? That'd be amazing. That'd be great. I would definitely be looking forward to that. If we had to go again back to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers, you're damn skippy that we win. We already did it. And I know, and this isn't the confidence. I just know that we are that team that we would be able to go back into Pittsburgh and play them again and win. So, and I know the Steelers are a good team. Steelers are a good team. good enough to make it playoffs, I guess. I didn't really pay attention to the rest of the season since we played them in week 2. So I just, you know, don't really care. I was happy with the results that we had, and I haven't looked back since. We have other stuff going on. So, but yeah, I'm surprised that the Steelers are in. And this is Roethlisberger's last season, and he was wearing a Raiders helmet when we won. And I saw someone put a Raiders beanie on I think it was the statue of what's his stupid name, Franco Harris. So they put a Raiders beanie on him. Thanks Raiders. I'm like, whatever. I don't care, dude. Like, you shouldn't really be too happy that you literally squeak through the door. That is what I consider squeaking through the door, squeaking into the playoffs. Raiders did not squeak into nothing. We fought tooth and nail to get into this damn position that we're in now. And we're going to play the Bengals, which, it could be worse, right? Because who would you rather play? Bengals, the Bills, Chiefs, the Titans. I know the Titans got seed number 1, but let's just say for the sake, those are the big 4 guys right there that, are sitting at the top spot. And out of all those 4, I kind of would rather go play the Bengals again. I think we actually kind of have a good shooting shot to beat them, to come back, revenge game in Cincy. I think the weather is actually probably going to help us, just like it did in the what was it, the Cleveland game last year. I think the weather might actually help us. Watch. I'm going to tell you, this is probably going to screw with the Bengals a little. I don't know how much these guys on this team have dealt with, inclement weather like that, especially with the Bengals. A lot of Raiders are still on this team that have dealt with it. So I know a lot of football players have too, but I know that this team can still pull this one out and use the weather to our advantage. Run. Short passes. That's what we got these guys for. Hit Waller, top. You're gonna hit Renfro. Those inside cuts. I mean, just anything. He's the catching king, the third and Renfro. I mean, he's everything. He's the next Blitnikoff. If he keeps playing like this, he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Absolutely. You heard it here first. But yeah, I think that's really all too much I need to say at this point. I might do a live on Saturday and celebrate this game. Probably be wearing my girlfriend's jersey. Didn't want to. I was putting, I was getting all my stuff together. I just threw this one on real quick, and because I'm wearing this one, the special occasion, it's just a little different. It's a little extra special, just because we beat the Chargers and we're heading to Cincy, and we look good in white, especially if this inclement weather is, as they say, it might be pretty bad. It might be hopefully a little snowy, and hopefully this could be a little bit of a camouflage and everything. And just, this is woo. I don't know. I'm just all jacked up. I'm just, just talking here. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I need to say at this point. But yeah, follow me on Instagram, or not Instagram. I don't have an Instagram. Follow me on what's that crap called, Twitter. I don't really use Twitter all too much. I'm trying to do my best to get on Twitter and do Twitter stuff, and try to get some followers in here and hopefully conversate and stuff like that. So I'm not just completely just blasting information at the screen here. So hopefully I can have some sort of dialogue. Yeah, I think that is it. That's all this needs to be said. Oh yeah, Twitter. The Twitter handle, I think, is supposed to be the Undead Raider. Double check. It's my own jam, but I don't even know it. Yeah, it's the handle is at the Undead Raider, all one word. Yeah, you can just go and follow me there. That'd be cool. Appreciate you if you have, you know, been if you watched this whole thing through. God bless your soul. You made it, and I appreciate it. You sticking all the way through and just hanging out, hear me just rambling, talking. But yeah, please leave a message or write some in the comments. That'd be cool. I'll definitely try to talk back and stuff like that, or hit me up on Twitter. And definitely, you can always hit me up there, and I'll definitely hit you guys back up. So yeah, let's see a good game. If anything else comes up, I don't think, hopefully, nothing crazy comes up until Saturday. Hopefully, this is just a regular week training and, just get ready, prepping, all this, getting jazzed, getting ready for this game. And we go in, guns blazing. Raiders win, just win, just win. And it's true. I don't care, Carr throws an interception, there's a fumble, something bad happens. Just win. Just find a way to win, guys. And I know you can do it. You guys are number one. You guys are killer. Derek Carr's killer. Yeah, damn. I mean, I could ramble all damn day, but yeah, I don't. It's nothing new, and that or worth really to stick around for. So yeah, I guess this is it. Thanks, and see you guys next time, right? Peace out.